It's 2:46 a.m. And I'm on the Noise HQ terrace. And whoa, it's been a tricky few months in the past. A lot happened, a lot also didn't happen. Things take time, especially when you're dealing with something as tricky as tokens in crypto. Markets are cyclical, narratives rotate, things change before you can test things sometimes. We also made a ton of, I'm not sure, ton of decisions that in retrospect, obviously, like maybe we didn't have to over calculate, and we had to change our smart contracts 3 times, like literally like different places. And like every time it's like new information, and sometimes like new information is pretty bad, sometimes it's good, but what people wanted changed, sentiment kept changing. And to be very honest, like we are very obsessed, like trying to think about how do we get like just 10 teams like ours who can change their life with probably like tokenization, right? Like I wouldn't be talking to you right now if we didn't tokenize like 190, like 6 months ago, 190 days ago, and everything changed in our life. Like that day, every time any of us are referring to like April or even March, it seems like it's a lifetime away. Like that's how our life changed when we sort of launched Noise. And I do think that there's a ton of teams. Obviously, there's a ton of bad actors in crypto, but like there's also like some really kick-ass people out there whom we want to find, and I don't know, do our best. But sort of like I'm still hoping that this month is different. There are a few things that we're hopefully going live with. In the middle, like me, Srijan, Dev, all of us went through our own sort of, I wouldn't say burnouts, but like ups and downs. Like we are thinking about this 24/7, we're working on this 24/7, and like we really talk and think a lot with literally everybody that you can think of about tokenization, about like helping people raise capital on chain, about how can this help you get users and distribution. And I know we're directionally correct. Sometimes it takes years for the market to like sort of have a canonical black swan event where it just becomes easier. Like for us, it's regulations, and it's not wise to bet on regulations because things may pass 3 months later or 3 years later, and it's pretty fucking hard if you're not a funded company and you're a coin, right? Because you can go down 99% tomorrow, or in like whatever over a time frame, and like if Bitcoin dumps or if something happens, like you just lose 50% of your value. And there's so many problems on there's quite a few problems for traders, for founders. It's very hard to align both parties together. There is a dearth of talent. Like let's accept it, crypto does not have a lot of great fucking talent. We're probably like 1% of the smartest people in the world are working in crypto. The rest are in probably AI, robotics, hardware, biotech, space, stuff like that. So it is hard, but things change. Like the great part about everything is that everything is like super rapidly changing, and there's a shit ton of luck. There's a shit ton of luck that not only we require, but companies require generally to succeed. And if you're talking to like hundreds of founders every month, which we have, we end up walking like super duper excited in like 4 conversations, like 5 conversations, and eventually we just realized, okay, you know what, this is a I wouldn't say a numbers game, but you have to take a ton of shots and you have to keep experimenting. And the markets can go to shit, and maybe like you were so ready to launch a few companies, but then we were like, hey, look, like the market's so bad that it does not make sense for you to launch a speculative asset because people are not speculating. But we more than tokenization, we think a lot about speculation. Like something so powerful, it can hijack attention. Just speculation can hijack attention. People have started caring about the color of sweater other people are wearing. Why? Because they put their money on the line. And I think there's something probably like quite powerful if we have like the right twist, we align the right sort of people, we do the right things. But it's been pretty hard. I've regretted and have been annoyed at me, Srijan, Dev, our team very often because of like some decisions we took, a ton of arguments that didn't, a ton of arguments, a ton of time spent talking and thinking about problems that don't exist. And analysis paralysis is real. It happens. It's hard to push through it. It's hard to motivate yourself. It's hard to motivate the team. Like we've talked to so many liquid funds, talked to so many investors, talked to so many founders, and believe it or not, like we are a kick-ass team. Like I believe in the team so fucking much. Like I don't know if how many of y'all have followed Sort of Noise, and I'm sorry boring you right now, but this is important for me to get out. But like in 3 months, we actually ended up doing so fucking much that it's unsustainable sometimes, like especially with like crypto and tokens, things change very quickly. But I'm quite excited about like the next few months. I don't think about 5 years. I used to, but like I realized, hey, if your thesis fails, then, and if you don't come up with an insight that's very interesting, you should shut down, even if you have money in the bank. None of us in the team think we want to be washed out founders who raised a shit ton of money in the last bull run and are just like trying stupid random stuff. We'd much rather just shut down, move to different things in life if our thesis, our grit, our ideas, our BD, our marketing, whatever doesn't work. And it is what it is. Like you have to be like hyper realistic about it. Especially with like the game you're trying to play. Like there is no, either you're like exponentially growing or you're slow dying. And we did experience slow death. We had moments of revival. A few launches in the middle went well. A ton of things went well. A ton of things also didn't. And there's been so much to say. There's like, we've all gone through a lot, but I'm pretty happy that we're just getting it out of the door. Again, things may work, things likely will not work. But yeah, man, that guy also holding this sucks kind of, but we're excited. Whether the market's excited about us or not is something we stopped thinking about a while ago, because prices, your token price is not the most efficient, is not an efficient, let's not even say most efficient, it's not actually an efficient way to value the value you provide, right? It's not. It's driven on hype, attention, a ton of things. But like I still think just about, hey, even if we can get 10 founders, $1 million, gives them 12 months, one of them accelerates and hits, like for one of them their life changes. I would be happy with our effort, right? Like at the end of the day, there's a shit ton of optimism. We have so many ideas about like these 100,000 companies that nobody's paying attention to in crypto. There are so many mechanics. There's so much innovation possible. Yet we all have become like very consensus driven. Whatever's happening in the market is the only way things should happen. Like that's kind of retarded. There's just so much possible, and it takes balls, but sometimes courage is hard to, courage every day is very hard to stick to your beliefs and opinions every day, when so often, like me, Sujan, Dev, all three of us have a different opinion about something. And it can lead to like a 3-hour long fucking argument. Like we've probably had like 50 of those in the last 2 months, like literally. But that's also the joy. I get to build with my closest friends. I live with them. I can talk to them about everything. It's an honor. In some way, it's a privilege more than an honor to have people who understand you and you understanding people. Like, we've all lost our shit. We've all just like been like, hey, fuck, I can't work today. We've all been through we've all had to travel, do things, and sometimes progress stalls, but we get it. And I don't know if I hope that you get it too. I hope we just do a good enough job. If we don't, we should die. We deserve death. That's our thesis too, that speculation can probably help you find PMF or death super quickly, and if death is it, then that's a great outcome. Move on to the next thing. There are stories and outliers and precedents of irrational belief and not accepting death. Sure, 99% of the times that's not the right strategy. 1% of the times it is. If you have enough money in the bank, if you have the right team, a ton of things going well for you, then sure, be so delusional that you don't accept death. But anyway, I think I've yapped for too long. Fuck, 10 minutes. I hope you see an edited version of this. But I'm Heath, and thanks for being here. I think I probably bored you, but hi.